Hey everyone, welcome to this Python tutorial, and in this video we'll be discussing enumerate function. Before we get started, let's look at the requirements. So you should have a good understanding of the for loop, list, and index number. So let's get started here. So the enumerate function is a built-in Python function that helps iterate over an iterable like a list or string while keeping track of the index of the current item. So before we look at an example and making more sense of this statement, let's first look at a scenario using the for loop, and then it will be easy for us to understand the enumerate function. So for loop. So I created a list already, so everyone should know about list. So list allows you to save multiple values in a single variable. Now I'm going to use a for loop to go over each of these items. So I'm going to say for I in, or let's say for snack in snacks, print snack. Now if I click on run, I should see, oh, sorry, it says favorite snacks. So for snack in favorite snack, print snacks, I should see all my snacks. Now I would like to add serial numbers for each of these snacks. So what I would do is I'm going to create like a counter. I'm going to say index starting with 1. And then I'm going to print that as well. Index, comma, snack. And I will have to increase the counter value by 1. So plus equal 1, which will keep increasing depending on how many items we have. So since we have 5 items, this print statement will be running 5 times, and then the index number will also be running a total of 5 times starting from 1. And those who don't know, this is basically similar to this index equal index plus 1. So this is a shortcut that we use. So now if I click on run, I should see 1, 2, 5, and I should see all my snacks. So that's how we can achieve the same thing that we're about to do using the enumerate function. So this is the regular way of doing this using the for loop and creating a counter and increase the value. Now, instead of doing this way, I can apply the enumerate function to achieve the same result. So let's look at that. First, I'm going to put an empty print statement just to add an extra line before we look at the enumerate function. So the syntax for this, I will show you that in a minute. The output of the enumerate function is going to be a pair. You should be able to see the index number and the item, just like the way we did it using the for loop. Okay, so you will see the index number and the item in your list. And the syntax is that you have to write the function name, enumerate. You have to provide the iterable, which is going to be your list, or it could be a string. And then you have to say start equal 0, which means you would like to start with the first index number. If you don't provide anything by default, it will be 0. But if you would like, you can also start with an index number of your choice. So 0 means the starting index for counting. The default is going to be 0. So I just showed you this example without the enumerate. Now if you apply the enumerate, so we're going to use the same list that we created. So now let's look at the syntax here. So you're going to say for idx fruit. You can see that I'm using 2 variables. One is idx, another is fruit in enumerate fruits. That means you're looking at this list, but there are 2 things we are looking for. One is the item itself, apple, banana, and cherry. Another is the index number, which is going to be 0, 1, and 2. And then you're printing idx fruit. So let's try to apply the same for my list. So I'm going to say 4. So we don't have to create index equal 1. Let me erase this. Get started. So for ID x, comma, snack in enumerate and the name of your list, favorite snacks. And then you're going to say print ID X, comma, snack. So you can see instead of writing index, creating index, increase the value by one, I can just simply do this using the enumerate. So if I now click on run, you will see it here. Okay. By default, it's going to start from 0 since you did not say anything. But if you want, you can also put another parameter. You can say start equal 1. Okay, so now if I click on run, you can see that now instead of starting from 0, because that's the default, you can start with 1 so that it looks better. Just like the way we did it here using the for loop. I can achieve the same result with only 2 lines of code using the enumerate function. And that's how the enumerate function works in Python. So the benefit is that you don't need to create any manual counter, so it automatically tracks the index, so you don't need to manage it yourself. Pythonic, so encourages clean, concise, and readable code. So that's how the enumerate function works, and hopefully this makes sense. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.